Welcome to episode 9 of the Whatever Podcast. It's the podcast where we talk about whatever. Today is a very special day. We're still in Hawaii, having a great time. Yesterday we just we went to Volcanoes National Park, where we were inside of a lava tube, this crazy cave. We shot crater.
Amazing.
We saw beautiful sky, beautiful sea. Earth was great. Sunset. It was an amazing time, and we went there with our special guest today, Audrey Wagstaffe. It's good to have you here, Audrey.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself? Where are you from? Where'd you go to school? And your artistic medium of choice?
Of course. Oh, I am holding it.
There's the talking stick.
So I recently moved to LA just right before COVID. It was not ideal timing, but I've grown up in California my whole life. I went to school at a tiny college where you really did know every single person, and you had the gossip. It was called William Jessup University, and I studied acting. That's not what I actually intended to study, though. Mm-hmm. I started as a psychology major with a theater minor, and when I got into it after my first acting class, I realized everything I was learning in psychology, I was doing in acting class. And I just learned more on my feet anyway. Wow. So it was just a lot more fun to apply psychology standing up in front of people.
Yeah. Standing psychology.
It is. Like you need to know the way people think and behave and when you want to act it out.
So your first time performing was in college then?
No.
Okay. What was your first theatrical experience? Your first acting experience?
Well, actually, I created it as a kid.
There you go.
I was very obnoxious out of all my cousins. Every Christmas and Thanksgiving we had together, I would decide that I was going to be the director, the producer. I was going to be the writer, and I would come up with these awful screenplays and make everybody be in my performances. I was also usually the star.
So you brought the holiday festivity.
Oh, actually they hated it because I made us rehearse for hours. But yeah, that was my first experience.
Yeah, that's great. That is great. So now that you're out of school, right, and would you say that acting is now like your passion, something that you really want to continue going on into the future? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I guess the next question would be, what is your dream role right now for, like, what's the if you could get any role you wanted right now, what would it be?
I mean, it probably doesn't exist yet, but it would be something that I could really relax in and be myself, but it would be some form of comedy. I don't have anything specific because I think it has to be tailored to the person a little bit. I love Schitt's Creek because I think that show is so lovely, and how it there was just no prejudice in the show, and it was just this ideal little world, and it was a place, when I watch it, it's just like you escape for a minute, not in an unhealthy way, just in a like, wow, that was lovely to watch, and I feel a little more relaxed after seeing it. So I'd like to be part of something like that, where you just give people a bit of hope.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed theater. Oh, I get to hold the talking mic. I've enjoyed theater. I've recently delved into that idea or the realm of musical theater.
Wow.
Yeah, my first musical I saw in full was In the Heights. That was incredible. Oh my gosh, I
Not
cried.
the movie, you saw the real thing.
Yeah, well, no, I didn't get to see it in real life. I did see the movie.
Okay.
So, I wish I could. So
Yeah, I heard it was.
Oh, okay, it is on Broadway.
So I wish I did, but who knows? That's in the future. Yeah. But I saw the film in theaters. I cried. It was good.
Did you feel like it was a good representation of New York?
I can't say for sure. I've only been to New York once, so
I haven't seen the movie yet myself, but I know that Lin-Manuel Miranda was, I think he directed it, or he had like a really big hand in it. So if he was doing it, then I know he would do like New York justice, because I believe he's from the Bronx. And even if he wasn't from New York, he just knows a lot about the culture there and everything. So I'm sure that it was great, and the cast was amazing as well. So you can't go wrong with that type of cast. And just off of the trailer that I saw, I was like, well, this is going to be good. But yeah, great movie, I'm sure.
Yeah. So diving into my question, I want to know how you felt about musical theater, and do you feel that is the same realm? It's just like acting for a screenplay.
No. Well, it's hard because I do love theater too. When I was in New York, the first play that musical that I saw was Waitress. And I was speechless afterwards. It was amazing and it was a big enough theater, but even from the stage, I could feel the actors' real emotions. It carried that far, and it was beautiful to see live. But it's still so much bigger than life. As a performer, having been in shows, you have to change your expressions to make them carry to someone far in the back, and you have to project your voice louder. And to me, that does take away some of the authenticity. It doesn't have to, but it does for me a little bit. Whereas I think film, you capture the smallest details in someone's face, the smallest emotion, and you don't have to make it so big. So I prefer that personally, but I admire and respect people who can do musical theater. I also can't sing or dance, so that may be part of the problem.
Yeah. So would you rather be in television, feature-length films, or short films, or all of them, all three?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All in.
That's great. Speaking of like making your ideal world and whatnot, and creating like the right space for you, I know you're writing a book. You're writing a children's book.
I am.
Right, and that's one
I
way
just
to
started
kind
it here in Hawaii.
Yeah, there you go.
Spare time.
To have like control over your art, that's a really cool thing. So tell me more about the book and how that got started, the inspiration for it.
Well, I loved fantasy as a kid, and I read a lot. And so now I have a 3-year-old nephew. I'm actually his nanny right now.
Oh, awesome.
And so I wanted to write a story for him that was about him. And it's just this simple story about how he's going about his day. And then he discovers like the crawl space underneath our house has a dragon egg that just happens to be there. I actually don't know how the story is going to end. I think the dragon is going to hatch, clearly. And it's...
Will it?
It will. No.
Okay, it will. It has to.
But it's just a simple story where I think it will be like the adventures they have together. The dragon might burn some things down on accident, but not like a big California fire. A small, fine one that gets put out.
A bonfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Handling.
But I don't know what else I was gonna say.
Yeah. So it's for your nephew.
But one day I might actually try to publish it. And I do also draw, so I might try to illustrate some pictures for
That'd
it.
be fresh.
Yeah, thank you.
If this book does well, do you think you would kind of get into writing more children's books in the future? Yeah.
I would, yeah. Because I've read a lot of children's book as a nanny, and some of them are not great. And a lot of them are. There are beautiful ones as well. But I think it's important to have stories that reflect lots of different children's experiences. And there aren't too many out there like that. Just thinking about kids with disabilities, there aren't a lot of books that feature kids of all colors. It's just, honestly, there's just a lot of books with a lot of white kids. So I think it's important to not have that be the standard anymore.
Right. Yeah.
I'm curious, what have you learned about yourself from acting and theater and acting?
That's a great question. Thank you. That's actually why I care about acting. I think for a lot of people, why they love to act is because they want to get out there and tell their story. But I don't quite feel that way. I think I love acting because of what it did for me as a person. The actual process of learning how to act helped me so much. When I started at my school, wait, someone hold this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was a different person. I was always sitting like this, and I talked like this, and I was so aware of how people were viewing me, and I hadn't fully released into the freedom of being.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I was afraid of taking up that space because people always perceive me one way, and I just tried to fit into that mold a lot.
Yep.
And I was so conscious about how people were thinking of me that I was really anxious to talk to people.
Yeah.
And a couple things I learned in acting was just really playing off of the other person. Otherwise, you're going to be a shitty actor. But if you're really like looking at someone and feeling their energy, and in that moment, you don't have time to care if your face looks stupid. And so that gave me a lot of freedom, and also being able to recognize my own strengths and quirks and how I'd be cast was really freeing to be able to own all of it. And just it was actually kind of like meditation for me, because if you're a good actor, you're very present, and that helped my anxious mind calm down. So that's why I want to do acting as therapy with kids in hospitals, because I think that if you are grounded in the moment, aware of all your senses around you, you don't have time to be worrying. And when I'm in that flow in a good scene, it's just amazing. And it was so life-giving to me, not for the final product, but the actual process of acting. And I think it makes you more empathetic. As a human, you have to put yourself in other people's circumstances.
Just a lot of gems being dropped.
Again, we're here with Audrey Wagstaffe. If you don't know, now you know. What?
It's going to be a big name pretty soon.
The next Audrey Hepburn, but not Hepburn, because it's Wagstaffe.
The first right. Audrey Wagstaffe.
Wow, good memory. Super noble.
That's really interesting. I totally relate to that for sure, because it wasn't until I discovered music and rapping when I found my voice, because before I wouldn't speak. So me, even to this day that I've been doing it for 5-6 years now, it still is like crazy to think about, because I remember who I used to be beforehand, and it was hard for me to get the words out. But with music, I was able to find my voice and be able to really get out all the things I had to say. I didn't even realize I had so much things to say. But after I wrote my first song, I couldn't stop writing. It just kind of opened up the floodgates. And then when I went to Prague for film school for about 4.5 months, and we got to dive into like the ins and outs of filmmaking, every single aspect of it, from directing all the way to acting. So I took an acting class, and it was really, really deep, because I'd watched many movies. My older brother's an actor as well, but to go through the class, there were like exercises that we had to do where you really had to get to know the person in front of you. We had a exercise where we just stared at each other.
I had that too.
For like
Did you do
10 minutes.
Meisner? Meisner-based?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so, and it was intense. Like after it was over, like the person I was looking at, like it's like I like touched her soul and she touched mine, and it was like we had a deeper connection. And I was just like, wow, this is, if you really dive deep into it, it's really real. It's really real.
This is a pet peeve I have about acting, because people will be like, oh, you're an actress, so you're a really good liar.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, no, I'm the best truth teller. Because if you're lying and acting, then you're not doing a good job. You're connected to the real emotions and you and the other people around you. Truth.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't call me a liar.
That's why when you see certain movies with like certain scenes that are really, really good, where it's like a 2 scene or even 1 person there, you can feel the emotions and then you can't even speak. There are certain like scenes where I'm just like, I'm not moving, I'm not blinking, because it's so real in that person. Because you have to really, to be a true actor, you have to become your character to the point where you can't even tell the difference between who you are and the character, or where you begin and the character ends, something like that. So at least some of the greatest actors I've seen and some of the greatest scenes I've seen, it's just like that person became that person, the person they were portraying. And I think that's like amazing and hard to do. I've tried. It's not easy. It's not easy work at all. That's why I like to just be behind the camera and see it. So I respect actors and actresses heavily. So thank you for your service.
So have there been any moments in your acting career thus far that have been really pivotal for you, that are like cornerstone in your development, and just kind of guided you in navigating how you wanted to just express in this means of creativity?
Oh, thank you. Oh, I hold it now. Thinking though.
I'll hold it so you can think fully.
I was just going to keep saying into the microphone. I learned that in acting class.
Filler word.
Yeah.
So two things came to mind when you asked that. I actually had a really weird role in school where it was a gender bent role. Mm-hmm. My shirt keeps slipping up. It looks weird. There. I played Clarence Oddbody in It's a Wonderful Life, who is traditionally an old man, angel. But I was not, they didn't make me an old man. I was me. Mm-hmm. And that one felt big because I had some time on stage in front of everybody. That was my probably biggest role in front of people, where I guess in a way I was one of the main characters, and having that attention and gravity in the show was overwhelming at first, but getting through it was amazing. I had older people who'd grown up with this movie tell me they liked me more than the old man Clarence. And that was just super encouraging to hear, that I was able to take those words that were written for a different type of person and make them mine.
Yeah.
And then another experience was doing a showcase in New York. And I played 2 roles, back-to-back little scenes, and I was the quirky girl. But I owned it. I had all these jitters beforehand, just like, oh, I'm out there in this black, is it a blacktop theater? That's a name, right?
That makes sense. Let's go with that.
Yeah, sure. I've heard that, I believe.
But it doesn't have a top. I don't know. That feels like the wrong word. But I said black box.
Black box. Okay.
Black box theater.
Is that right?
That sounds familiar.
It sounds right.
We'll make one if it's not real.
I'm feeling it. Right. Let us know if we're wrong.
But that again was just such a formative thing, where after it was done, feeling so proud of my work, and that I was able to kind of forget about the audience and just be with my scene partners, and that's it. It was simple, and I had the comedic timing. It was so fun to do. But I haven't done film yet, so I've really only done theater, and I'm excited to have a first film role at some point.
Collaboration.
Hire me.
So we were having a conversation beforehand, and you were telling me that you were feeling kind of typecasted into certain roles, where it would be a Disney princess or the quirky girl, stuff like that. So I'm curious, is like, would you want to be an actress who specializes in comedy and the quirkiness, or do you feel like you have unlimited range where you can be funny, you can be serious, you can be everything in between? Like, what type of actress are you trying to be?
I think I mentioned it a little bit with you, where I do think I can be anything, because any human can be. We have a range of experiences. I'm not just always laughing and happy. Right. I cry a lot. That's fun. But
it's important. You should cry.
But it
Crying
is good. It is, real and fun. It's so we're just human. But I think right now, being a younger actress, I will go for the roles that I'm given, which I expect to be more of those comedy types and typecast in it. And then as I gain more life experience, I would love to do roles that are meatier and where I can have that dramatic role. Not for the sake of drama, not to be like in the camera, but just to share a real story of heartache and heartbreak and building after that. So yeah, I'm open to do anything.
That's good. Okay. And what advice would you give like any young actresses or actors really, but let's say specifically young actresses trying to who are on the fence about getting into it or in the business? Like, what would you give them? What advice would you give them to like tips to be a better actress, but also just to keep going, because you're not always going to get the roles that you want. You're not always going to get hired right away. How do you keep going and keep that passion alive?
I mean, I still need advice on that one for me, since I'm a struggling actress myself. Right. But I would say, don't think of it so much as like the end result of what role you're going to get, because the best actors are just humans who are working on themselves. So everything you experience in your life is great material for you one day, or can be. Just meditate and develop yourself as a person. And that will be growing yourself as an actor or an actress. And have fun. because that's what everyone says, like in acting school, it's like, it's called a play because it's fun. And it should be.
Right, yeah.
If you're doing it's not so serious. You should just enjoy the moments that you're given and relax about it, because who knows if we'll be big names or not, and we might not, and that doesn't matter.
Right.
Just have fun.
Do it from the heart.
Yeah.
I have another question, but Vic, do you have a question?
Not off top. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was just curious. So we're in Hawaii, and we've only been here for a little while, but it's already been just like an amazing experience for us, just to kind of meditate and relax and film, and just kind of like even the music that we've been listening to while we've been driving. It was
like, amazing to watch them film yesterday. Yeah. There's some good stuff coming.
It's great, like, and it's kind of trippy even listening to our own music while we're riding through this amazing island and looking at different things. Like I'm hearing lyrics and it's different, and from other artists and whatnot. It's been very like meditative and relaxing for us. So I was curious, how has Hawaii kind of helped you as an actress in terms of just life experience, or maybe helped you like meditate more and kind of have a clearer head, or what has Hawaii done for you personally and then also like professionally?
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, you're still in it.
I'm still just here. I think what I'm really working on through all of this, because there has been so much time alone with my thoughts, I've been super overwhelmed with my living situation, with job situations, about the future and what that will involve for me as an actress. And I think I've been trying to just release that while I'm here. Release it into the air and the wind and the ocean, and right now is right now. That's all we have. So I've been just working on trying to be more present, because I'm in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be in Hawaii right now and not worry about the future.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much time we have left, but I do have a question. What are you anticipating and looking forward to on your return back to the mainland? And
Wait, about what? Looking forward to about acting or anything?
Anything. Like I guess it's a chapter in life, or maybe you're going into a new chapter, or maybe you're in the middle of a chapter. You're writing a whole new book, so that's a chapter in
Literal
chapter. But whether it's this current chapter, or you're waiting for like a climatic moment or the rising action, like is there something that you're looking forward to when you return?
I mean, I'm really excited to see everyone again, which is silly. I don't normally miss people, but I do miss my I miss my sister. This is a shout out. And my nephew and my boyfriend, and I haven't seen him in a few weeks, and so it will be good to connect with people again. But events coming up, it's just going to be work again. So I feel like I need to say something more exciting than that.
No, that's real.
I mean, that's real. Yeah.
It's true.
Situation, yeah.
I just want to keep growing, because I'm in the middle of therapy right now. And so when I get back, I think I just want to take a lot of deep breaths and continue working on my mental health.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And therapy has played an important role in your growth as a person, and has it helped your acting as well?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I imagine.
Yeah,
since it's
just
all,
like if you have like a clearer head, is it easier to step into a role now? Or like it's less of escaping your personal life, and now you can kind of bring your full self into it.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Cool.
I didn't know all the mental health things that I was dealing with.
Unlicensed therapist. I've been doing this for a little while.
Not real. And he should go to school if he wants to be a therapist.
We don't approve.
It's okay, book me.
I had a question and it said it fluttered away.
Come butterflies.
Come back.
If that works, I'm super impressed.
Hold on.
This is some good miming going on over here.
You might get it.
You should hire him for something.
It's close.
The line snapped.
And it flew away.
It'll come back. It will. It's happening.
Okay.
Is this the part we all hold hands now?
We can. I don't have an immediate question right now. Hey.
Yeah, they're all sweaty. It's so humid now.
Wait,
Sorry, guys.
Hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gross. Not that you're gross. The humidity. My hands are sticky.
Yeah, it's kind of hot out here, but it's still nice. Well, I don't know, Vic, if you, because I think that's about it. I think I touched on everything I want to touch on.
You are going to edit this, right? To clip it up?
No, probably not.
Oh, great. That's good.
It'll be cool. This happens, yeah.
I'm sorry if I talked too long.
No, it's fun. This is great.
A special guest, so we're glad
Yeah.
to have you. It's really been awesome having your perspective, Audrey, and just learning about what you do. And just illuminating us to the field and the world of acting, and we wish you the very, very best moving forward.
Honestly, meeting both of you has been so encouraging for me to see when I was watching some of their work and realizing these are musicians who write their own things, but they've learned how to film and edit and do all of it. That was inspiring for me, just to know that I can take more control of my acting and create entire things instead of just waiting for an opportunity to come. So thank you for your inspiration.
Absolutely, and it's been a pleasure meeting you, and this is why we learn these extra skills so that we could have control over the art that we create, as well as make a space for other artists like yourself who want to work and are ready to work, but can't navigate yet through the normal like channels like Hollywood and labels and stuff like that. So yeah, just I'm glad that we could encourage you and inspire you, and we're looking forward to collaborating with you in any way, shape, or form.
Not the last.
Honestly,
we're stuck together.
I'm in LA all the time. So I think we'll wrap it up there. It's this has been Audrey Wagstaffe, our first special guest in a while. You can follow her on Instagram and Facebook.
Like the jazz, like it'll appear.
And Twitter. We'll put her information here, and Instagram. She has Instagram at least, so we'll put whatever information we will get.
I'll make it Twitter.
Yeah, we'll put it there. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been episode 9 of the Whatever Podcast, and we will see you when we see you.
Catch you on the flip side. Peace.